Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. According to the Times, Manchester United have called an emergency board meeting to discuss sacking Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Manchester United lost 4-1 today to Watford, and it was embarrassing from a Manchester United perspective. Solskjaer didn't really say much after the 4-1 defeat to Watford. He just apologised to the fans, and Solskjaer did admit that he feels embarrassed. Prior to the game against Watford, like I updated you, Solskjaer held crisis talks with his senior players to save his job. And earlier on this week, Solskjaer refused to quit Man United despite senior stars losing faith in tactics. Now, I'm hearing that Zinedine Zidane has been lined up to replace Solskjaer. Now, earlier on this week, it said Zinedine Zidane turned down the Manchester United job as he's pretty much agreed to take the France job. Zidane is not available until the summer. Because the Manchester United board recently held talks with Zidane, and Zidane let the board know that he doesn't feel ready for the Premier League at the moment, and he prefers to take a break until the summer. You know, Zidane's close relationships with Ronaldo and Varane could persuade him to join. Earlier on this week, though, there was reports saying that Zinedine Zidane was interested in the Manchester United job, but he said there was a problem because Zidane's wife wasn't attracted to the idea of living in Manchester. We need to get Zidane in. You know, Zidane would be the man for Man United. He'd get us back to that level where we should be at, and he'd suit the strappings of the club, and he would be capable of winning trophies, and he'd get the best out of these group of players. Zidane is managerless. He left Real Madrid in the summer. You've got to admire what he did at Real Madrid. He won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. So, reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree behind it. Maybe it would be good for Zinedine Zidane to come and experience the Premier League, because he's never managed in the Premier League. Brendan Rodgers, you know, he's been spoken about a lot. But prior to the game against Watford, Sky Sports and ESPN said that Brendan Rodgers distances himself from the Man United job. Rodgers said reports linking him with the Man United job are not true, and he's proud to be at Leicester. There again, earlier on this week, it said Brendan Rodgers is ready to say yes to Man United if he's offered the job. Apparently, Brendan Rodgers is the favourite to replace Solskjaer. Not so long ago, he was house hunting in Cheshire. The other week, the Manchester Evening News said that Man United are ready to trigger Brendan Rodgers' contract clause if Solskjaer gets sacked, and apparently Rodgers has already verbally agreed to become Man United's new manager, but it mentioned that his preference would be to wait until next season, as it said he's reluctant to leave Leicester midway through the season. And Pochettino's still being spoken about as well. It said not so long ago that Pochettino will consider making a return to the Premier League on his next job. He's got a full season left on his PSG contract. And Erik ten Hag has also been mentioned as well. But revert back to Solskjaer. When Manchester United do sack him, they'll have to pay Solskjaer around $7.5 million, because in the summer he signed a new 3-year contract with an option of a further year, and Man United made a mistake giving him that contract, and a lot of United fans will agree with me on that aspect. When Solskjaer is officially sacked, he will be the 4th permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson, because Man United have already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes after 10 months. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he did win 3 trophies in his first season. But yeah, with in regards to Solskjaer, he's not good enough to be Manchester United manager. Solskjaer is obviously not capable of winning trophies as Man United manager. He hasn't won a trophy as Man United manager. Man United have not won a trophy since 2017. Certainly Solskjaer has lowered the standards at the club as manager. The expectations are far too high for him to exceed as Man United manager, and he is in a position that he shouldn't be in. I hate to say this regarding Ollie, but I'm just being realistic. Solskjaer's been given way too long at Man United. He's been Man United manager for almost 3 years. And the reason he's lasted as long as he has done is because he's a legend of the club. Disregarding him being a club legend, I can assure he would have been sacked a long time ago. And we all adore Solskjaer, reflecting on what he's done for the club. At the end of the day, Solskjaer was a very good player for Man United. He enjoyed 11 years as a player, flourished under Ferguson's guidance, and he had a proven pedigree when he was a player, but unfortunately, he has no proven pedigree as a manager. And yes, Solskjaer is partly to blame for our poor performances, because his tactics and his team selections have been questioned a lot, but you can't just put all of the blame on Solskjaer. There's also players that have to take responsibility for those poor performances. We've got to get out of this predicament, and the first thing to do is obviously sack Solskjaer tonight. Get a change of manager. We need to see structural changes at the club as well. That's how we get out of this predicament. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. But Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Manchester United, it was going to be a massive job and a difficult job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. Solskjaer is managing one of the biggest clubs in the world. But Manchester United should be doing much better than they are, because we've got a very good team. But the reason we're not getting the best out of a lot of the players is because they're a team of individuals that don't actually play as a team. Man United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window this year, made 4 signings. 3 of the 4 signings were major signings, and we spent around £141 million. Solskjaer's enjoyed like 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager, and the board have backed Solskjaer well. They continue to back him now. They backed him well in the summer transfer window. So there you go. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent United manager since March 2019. And the reason the club decided to give him the job on a permanent basis was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager. There is some positives regarding Solskjaer. I think since he has come in, he has developed the youth well. He's brought consistency back in certain aspects. He has made good signings as Man United manager. Solskjaer signed 14 players. In the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January 2020, he brought Bruno Fernandes in and Odi Nagalo in on loan. In the summer of 2020, he brought Edison Cavani in, Donny van der Beek, Alex Telles, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pellistri. And in this year's summer transfer window, he brought Heaton in, Sancho, Varane and re-signed Ronaldo after 12 years. And to be fair, Ollie's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in, which he knew he had to do. He's loaned players out, he's got rid of players permanently. So the players he loaned out in this year's summer transfer window, he loaned Brandon Williams out, Ethan Laird, Andres Pereira, Axel Tuanzebe, Tahith Chon and Facundo Pellistri. Yes, got rid of a lot of players permanently, like I mentioned. He offloaded Daniel James in this year's summer transfer window. He's offloaded players like Borthwick Jackson and James Wilson. He also released Sergio Romero and Joe Pereira. He also offloaded Igalo, Fossa-Mensah and Rojo in January. He's offloaded players like Young, Valencia, Smalling, Darmian. Back in January 2019, offloaded Fellaini. He also offloaded Angel Gomez, Ander Herrera. He also offloaded Sanchez and Lukaku. So there you go. And you can say that some progress has been made under Solskjaer, because Solskjaer got us to 3 semi-finals in his first full season. Last season he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. Last season he got us to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. And last season he got us to the Europa League final. And that was his first major final as Man United manager. But unfortunately we didn't win it. And in Solskjaer's first full season, he got us a 3rd place finish, and in his second full season, he got us a 2nd place finish. But the only reason we finished 2nd last season is because teams around us were very, very poor. So there you go. But we're not going to be the team we was under Ferguson, and in that aspect we've got to accept that. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. It does take some managers time to settle in. Ferguson was a very long-serving manager at Man United as well. He enjoyed a 27-year managerial tenure. Manchester United. Just wait there a second. Are going to offload players next year. I think next year Martial's going, Cavani's going, Pogba's going. I think Lingard's going next year as well. I think Mata's going next year. I think Telles is going next year. I think Jones is going next year. I think Bailly's going next year. I think Dalot's going next year. I think Van der Beek and Matic are going next year. And I think Dean Henderson will be going out on loan. So anyway guys, back with another video soon. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.